Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Star Wars stream covering the Mandalorian and Grogu newest trailer. I'm your host, Ronan Shane, and I have with me here my dear friend, Brent I of Grogu. Brent, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going? Woke up with a surprise this morning. We were expecting something last week and we got a late gift.
Bro, man, oh man, was I like, I was telling Brent, everybody that like, I woke up at 5 in the morning and I was like, all right, I got my sleep. Let's see if I can like go and get some coffee and whatnot. And then a friend sent me the poster that you see here behind us. This poster, and I was like, that is new. I haven't seen that before. And then lo and behold, at 6 o'clock on the dot on Pacific Standard Time, they dropped the trailer, and boom. But yeah, folks,
I was supposed to be. Sorry. I was going to say I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be working today, and I get a text at like 9 o'clock last night saying, "Don't bother coming in. Something's got pushed. We're not going to be working today." I was like, "Okay, good day to watch it."
Yeah, it was weird. It was one of the days like, all right, thank God I had the day off, especially the morning. I was like, all right, give me the morning because usually that's when they drop these trailers.
Oh yeah. It's very hard to get a reaction in.
Yeah, Brent, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in this trailer that we're gonna have to like break down quite a bit. Folks, please go to Brent I of Grogu's channel. Go check out his reaction. I dropped my reaction on my own channel. Go check it out if you want to see how our mini thoughts on it. Right now, what we're gonna do is gonna break down what's in it. We're gonna point out Easter eggs that I spotted. I was like, yo, is this what I think this is? And we'll talk about our feelings of the potential of the film and also the reception of it, which is quite a fascinating conversation to have alongside it. But before we get there, tell them a heads up before they see the reactions. How did you feel about this trailer as soon as it ended, Brent?
As soon as it ended, I had fun. I'm always glad when a trailer doesn't show too much because I don't want the whole story planted out in front of me. And I do know we're going to get at least another 2 or maybe 3 more trailers between now and next year when the film comes out. And it's going to tell us everything. And part of me almost doesn't want to watch those other trailers. Part of me wants to because of reacting for it. But the other part of me is like, you know what? I actually don't want to know necessarily too much going in, but I've also, I've got enough hints and knowledge now of little things and little events that are yet to come, and I'm not going to disclose anything, but there's some cool stuff to go with these visuals and fun stuff. But yeah, as a trailer itself, I was excited to see what we're about to get. I'm glad that they're pouring so much time into the visual effects because, the visual effects have been interesting to watch in the TV show, but people, start to recognize the what's it called? The
potential.
And so you kind of like you get to. You I guess to see this stuff and goes, okay, that looks like it's on TV format, etc., etc. So I'm curious to see how this is the big screen. Also, the fact that it's the first trailer for a movie of Star Wars that we've seen in about 6 years for a brand new film. So that alone is like exciting enough for me. And I enjoyed the characters. This looks definitely more towards a Grogu kind of based movie. Over being a Mando film, but I don't know. It could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But that's my thoughts.
I really dug the episode. Jesus, the trailer. And I've been saying from the get go that like I remember being like in season 1, this feels very cinematic. And it's in TV. This is TV, and it's feeling cinematic. Like this should be. We joked about it. For anybody who hasn't seen it, go check out our Andor stream we did yesterday, celebrating 3 years of Andor premiering. And we said how a lot of these shows now feel so cinematic that we long to see it on the big screen, even if it's 2 episodes combined, or it's a finale, or it's a premiere. Like put it out on the big screen so people can experience it in the biggest way possible and the loudest way possible. And this trailer is no exception, and that's why I think. I felt that I didn't need it to. I mean, here's some thoughts, and like I don't need it to feel like The Force Awakens. It shouldn't do that, but it should be something like, oh, we're finally getting these characters that we've come to collect and connect in a big bad way and love. Now we're seeing them on the big screen, and this should be a big welcoming thing for both people who have been following this since 2019, and for those who have never seen it but always heard, oh, cute baby Yoda, and then it's a cooler Boba Fett with the silver and stuff and whatnot. It's it's a spaghetti western. It's almost like a samurai show, and I really appreciate that.
Take a look at the poster here. I mean, the poster alone, when you consider the fact that it's giving you that kind of spaghetti western kind of vibe. It almost looks like and reminds me of the poster from the Bad Batch season 2 that we got from Celebration. That style of look and vibe. The hanging out on the beach kind of vibe, kind of thing. And we've got little hints and snippets of things. We obviously see the twins down there, the twin huts, which is going to be interesting. And a lot of the other stuff, for the most part, is stuff we've seen or know about. We know Sigourney Weaver's in there. We've really, kind of seen some snippets of the AT-AT walkers and stuff like that. There is a kind of cool beastie that Mando is fighting up there in the mid-right side. I don't know if that's some sort of a serpent dragon of some sort. I feel like I've seen it in the comic books or something before, that particular style of serpent. But it's a giant serpent creature. Actually, maybe it's close to the same thing we saw in the Rise of Skywalker, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's telling the story. It's got that kind of that fun vibe, that kind of Tropicana kind of vibe to it, both within the font and within the actual layout. It's bright, it's colorful, and it's already kind of like, it stands out as a poster to itself kind of thing. So
I agree. And we got some cool comments now. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Can't say the trailer blew me away or anything, but I'm still gonna be hyped no matter what for Star Wars. Hi, Harrison James. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. Calling it now, La Boo Boo Freak merch. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, those.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless how we feel about it, that's been a cool new addition. Those little guys, that species. Yeah. Also, hey guys, hope your week started off nicely. It again, as we mentioned, we weren't planning on doing this.
No.
How long has it been teased, Brent? Like a week already.
Yeah.
Sadly, over what happened with Jimmy Kimmel, just like there's gonna be a trailer, and it's like, okay, cool. When? Like usually they wait for like a big holiday or like a big sporting event to drop it, but it was nice to see that potential for it. I'm gonna do this. Why don't we showcase it? And if we notice some stuff immediately, we'll point it out, and then we'll do a breakdown of it to see what we caught. Because I'm telling you, dude, I swore I caught some Easter egg stuff there, and I was just like, holy hell.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tell me if you can hear it well, okay?
Yeah. Yep, sounds good. Razor Crest 2, what can we say? It's going to be... There's a story behind that.
Yeah.
Bit of a lag in the stream there. It's going through it right now.
Is it?
Yeah, no, it's good now. It's just the beginning had a lag. Sigourney, she's awesome.
Goddess, man.
I love the awkward... the awkward, screech. It's great. It's so cool. Okay, so right there's definitely some Albrecht stuff there that's in reverse. Also got our Man there. Zeb Orrelios.
Impressive.
That's what I say, yes. Got a hut symbol on that door there, which leads me to believe it's got something to do with the inside of the little arena.
Yeah, what is from Celebration?
Is these walkers in a weird format, or is it just they're actually a very different type of walker?
I don't know.
It's weird. It's like, they're across. Is that a walk rat or is that a nerf herder? No, wait. What is it called? What is Gundark? That's not a Gundark because we've already seen Gundarks in the Clone Wars. Is it a Womp Rat? Because I feel like it's almost a Womp Rat that we saw. You there?
I don't know. Give me a sec, because I
Yeah.
think StreamYard is
Yeah.
acting a little weird now. With there we go. This feels better.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. Like a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who haven't seen it, there it is. We're gonna go back right now and
Mhm.
showcase it. Hopefully, StreamYard doesn't start acting weird with this stuff. I did see a comment by Kevin Davis saying,
Mhm.
"Families will go see the Mandalorian movie at the theaters. This film is going to make money. Sure, as long as not bombarded with other stuff around it, it is gonna make money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
more than anything else, hopefully it's good, and word of mouth builds up. It's like, all right, even if you have never seen the show,
Mhm.
even if you've never, if only if you heard it through the grapevine, you'll enjoy it and you'll understand it. You won't be lost. And then again, that's the big battle I've been telling people now, that like this movie has to hook people who have never seen the show, and yet
Yeah.
not forget those who have been following the show. I think.
Well, here's the other big thing I want to throw out there too. There needs to be a big marketing for the merchandising at the same time, and they know they can merchandise a the what's, I keep forgetting Bubba Frick's race's name, but the
And
little
Zellions.
guys, the Zellions. That's it. Thank you. Yes. They need to market that stuff as a toy line, as much as they can, and plug it. Obviously, Grogu, punch it and put him out there everywhere. And they need to do what they did with the old days, which is like, put the toy stuff out there about 2 weeks before the movie, do a big hype build up, release the soundtrack in advance, give us that kind of that hype that it deserves for a Star Wars movie. Whether or not it's going to be good, whether or not you think it's going to be good or not, it deserves the hype. And I feel like that we started losing that build up with everything else surrounding a Star Wars movie's release as we went on. Solo had the least amount of merchandising. I think it was Denny's or something was the last thing that we actually had.
Oh, I remember that promo.
Nothing in the toy stores. And in my opinion, Lucasfilm have to kind of get off their high horse and not worry about disclosure of what different creatures and aliens and people are in there, and try to keeping them secret, but get as much merchandise built a year in advance of the film's release, so it's out there ready when that film drops. George Lucas was able to do that. He was able to make a market of that between 6 movies. Even the sequels had a certain amount of merchandising, although it never truly was the scale of the prequels. Because if I remember when the prequels had their merchandising shelves, it was Toys R Us, humongous. And I'm talking about humongous in every Toys R Us. They had these displays, they had the marketing stuff, and again, that was George Lucas. That was nothing to do with Disney or anything. Disney need to be able to promote that stuff in that kind of grand scale for Star Wars, just enough to at least hype up kids to say to their parents, we want to go see this film. Even if the parents are like, and all that, they need to market to the right audience. The right audience is 12-year-old kids. It's George Lucas always said. That aside,
I do. That's been the joke now. I was like, can they even sell the toys? Because a lot of stuff is put out on that. So I hope that they deliver on that aspect. Harrison James here says, Buff Rada the Hutt reminds me a lot of Gracchus the Hutt from the old comic. Is that one of the bad guys from Rebels? Favorite stylistic choice of the trailer? Basically, no doubt the Mandalorian just hits. So I agree with Buff Rada the Hutt, which again, if you again, I don't even think. You tell me, Brent. You don't have to have seen the Clone Wars movie, but if you've seen the Clone Wars movie, you get the like, oh, is that so and so, or even when people see
the advantage.
Go ahead.
Advantage about I was gonna say the advantage of this is that the Clone Wars movie, Rhoda was a baby, and they don't have to tie anything to that character, that version of that Hutt. We're going to probably get some sort of announcement. This is Jabba's son, knowing Jabba is dead at this point in time. Whatever he's doing in his life, whether he's there by choice or whether he's there by being put in, he looks like he's having fun in the gladiator arena. So we don't know if he's there by choice or whether he's in a position where he has no choice but to be there. Maybe he's been locked away. We don't know the story yet. But it's going to be that he is going to have a reintroduction would be my best guess. And that introduction would be nothing more than, this was Jabba the Hutt's son. And it's like, the audience would be like, oh, okay. We know Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, we've heard of this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't have to think back of, Stinky and Ahsoka, who was Ahsoka the annoying at the time, and all those moments. But it is also at the same time a fun history that if you've never watched the Clone Wars, that people can then go back and watch it and go, oh, I can now connect this character as an adult to what he was as a baby in that particular story. Was it the greatest? No, it wasn't. But it was still a fun part of the Clone Wars, in my opinion. So
yeah. Also, to point out, is that one of the bad guys from Rebels? That's if you're talking about the person with the swinging stick, that's Zeb. That's Garazeb Orrelios. That's the Lasat. That's the one of the core.
That was Zeb.
Yeah. That's who that is from Rebels. Which again, we knew he was in it, but just seeing that in motion and the combats, I'm like, oh, he's holding the staff, and
it's the same combat style that they use because they animate him in Rebels. You see him actually fighting like that with his staff, so he's actually got those kind of moves. So to see it in live action was like, yes, this is one very excited Star Wars Rebels fan here.
This was I fucking flipped out for it. This is cool. The whole notion of almost no dialogue is impressive. Yeah, and the Mandalorian. Folks who don't realize this, we just got confirmed today as well that Ludwig Göransson is back as the composer for the Mandalorian, which I am fucking happy. I was,
I'm not
gonna say I was worried, but I was just like, please bring it back. It's been a while since season 2 of Mandalorian. Like, bring it back for the movie, and I'm so glad that he had time to do that and to see if he brings new tunes that would be phenomenal. Because I'm telling you, when that Mandalorian theme hit, it was a shock,
especially on the big screen. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what? There's a Star Wars theme song that's not written by John Williams that is cool. Yeah. That is just as cool, and it's just like, I love that stuff.
Yeah. You also notice.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Brent.
So, I was going to say, back to the soundtrack just for a second there. You also notice that in the trailer, the soundtrack was ramped, and I've got all the scores. I've purchased them all on online digital, and you can tell that score is ramped up for that trailer, ramped up more than anything in the TV show. TV show is very slow moving. This was like the full orchestra at its at his command right there, and it's like, that's getting me excited too.
Sweet spot. Harrison James says, I remember there being some Embo rumors too, peak character design. I think that there is unlimited potential, and we'll get to it right now, and I'm gonna see if I can try to showcase the
think
trailer
about it
again. Go ahead.
Tell them. I was gonna say, think about it. I mean, we don't have official. They haven't shown us anything really official that I'm aware of Embo, at least in live action kind of stuff. But you got to consider the fact that when you consider the fact now that Cad Bane is dead, we assume, who is the next in line of being the best bounty hunter out there? And Embo would be my choice because he is a freaking kick-ass in the Clone Wars.
He's a vet. Yeah, he ran with that crew for a long time. So I would not be surprised. Harrison James says here, oh no, I know Zeb, my boy. I meant the alien bat animal that Ezra connects to through the Force. Gundarks, maybe. I forgot all the species.
The Gundark. Oh, you showed the rat at the end? Wait, was it a rat? Or was
it was I don't know if it was at the end or it was that thing lurking from the waters.
All right. That's a Manaman. That's one of the the Amini race. Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know that, they're the species that was in the background of Return of the Jedi. And I only know that, I was like, wait a minute, it feels like a background character, but I was just like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I've seen them before. We're gonna say, Brent.
One of my favorite toys as a kid was the Amanaman figure. It's one of the coolest designed creatures in Jabba's palace, in my opinion. Sorry, I get too excited.
No, I fucking love it. That to me, that was so much of the love I had for season 1 of Mandalorian, is that there was stuff that I had always heard of, and I was just like, wait, that's the Camtono? That's the the Willow, the thing that Willow like is carrying through Empire Strikes Back. I'm like, oh, and then again, when you take up stuff that is not that well known and you bring it to the foreground, that's where it's a sweet spot. Where like if you're a fan, you have to really be a big fan to notice any of the aliens in Jabba's palace background to appreciate them and be like, oh, it'd be cool if one day they got to do something with them. Here's an example of the Amanaman that like I'm like, all right, that's being used for the movie.
And you have probably already seen it, the animatic episode of the Clone Wars in season 6 or 7, I can't remember which one it was, that was never put to full development, where you actually get to go to the Amani homeworld. And you actually see a whole pile of them with Anakin and Obi-Wan as they're searching for a giant Kyber crystal, which obviously is the Death Star crystal at the time. And that was one of those stories that got deleted along the way. But they had all the animatics of the Amani race, which were kind of a warrior race, kind of fighter race kind of thing. So
Harrison does say, and Dave does voice Embo, so I reckon he has a soft spot for him. Listen, thank you, Harrison.
Sure.
Thank you for commenting. You know that John loves to put Dave either in front of camera or in some way in any of the material. Like I remember hearing the story how much he forced them to be like, no, you're going to be an X-Wing pilot with Deborah Chow and Rick Famuyiwa. And they put him on, and it's like, all right, when is Trapper Wolf going to appear? You know, we'll see how that plays, and hopefully we see those pilots again in the movie. But let's try to share the trailer again, just to break it down. This time I'm going to mute it. That way, hopefully we don't get flagged, and that we can just still like go back and see through it what I feel about this. So the first thing I want to say, and how is it looking for you right now, Brent? Is it looking good?
Okay. So it looks great. Let's pause it back on those yellow stripe marks. They're very representation of the N1
Starfighter.
It's got the silver. Yeah, we never had the yellow on the original Razor Crest, but we've got the same kind of yellow markings that we saw on the N1, which is sweet.
So we have that, and for those who don't know, this is a Razor Crest. Spoilers, if you haven't seen the shows, I mean, it's been out for years now, but in season 2, we lose this ship, which eventually leads Mando to the Naboo Starfighter. And it was, we had heard, from the stuff that like, oh yeah, he's going to get another Razor Crest, which makes sense. If you're going to be bounty hunting for Imperial warlords, take this instead of the Naboo Starfighter. You bring in something that you can live in and hold prisoners, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to throw something at you here. Do you think we're going to start this film off that he's got a new Razor Crest and that's part of a backstory that we haven't seen, that he gets it? Or do you think he's going to get it in the movie?
Knowing Lucasfilm, unless they really surprise me, we're probably going to get in a comic book. It's the same thing they did with
so he'll start off with it in the movie kind of thing.
Yeah. They did this with 3PO, right? It was the red arm thing. He's like, what happened to 3PO? You go
you're right.
What happened to it? So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that with the Razor Crest. Speaking of the Razor Crest, I rewatched it again. I'm like, yo, that's the Adelphi base. This is season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yes, I didn't pick it up. Yeah.
Where we meet up with Carson Teva and Zeb, and it's like, yo, this makes sense. Like, this is where they would, of what we heard and seen of Zeb, this makes sense where they would probably meet up. And who knows, hopefully Paul is back in the movie and as Carson Teva, and maybe there's more to it, because the way they set up at the end of season 3, it was like, it looked like he and Din had a very much Commissioner Gordon, Batman type of relationship. It was like, all right, I need your help. Let's benefit each other. We pay you, you take care of stuff for us. That's, not in the books. So I hope that's the case for this one.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Do we think the Delphi base is kind of like that kind of, little resistance base or whatever, is just kind of not in hiding, but it's out there, obviously. We're in the middle of nowhere here. I mean, I question, this growing republic, is this just simply a small outpost on a larger, territory, do you think?
I think so, just because I see it more as a MASH, if you will, MASH setting, and especially where we've hung out in that base, is that, like, there's a bar, so that's where we're most people just pass by R&R, and I wouldn't be surprised that, like, again, I'm not expecting every pilot in the galaxy to think that there's looming darkness. I feel like there's more and more slowly people will start, talking in this base or outside of it, like, yo, we should maybe not repeat the past and like double check everything. That way we don't let a empire again slip through our fingers and like overcome the Republic overnight. So I hope that's something they can say to like, oh, this base, people pass by. It's like a like a gasoline station. Yeah, like a gasoline station meets a motel, meets a car shop where you can fix your stuff and whatnot, but also like meet up with old vets and whatnot. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Harrison does say Carson got to be back. He's basically the Wong of modern Star Wars. I wouldn't even, I
would expect him to be back, but
I lean again, like I said early on, I lean more towards Commissioner Gordon thing, where like he's the only one that we've seen thus far in the New Republic that's besides Hera and now Sigourney Weaver's character being like, no, we should really like not let this stuff slide just because the war is over. It's like, no. This is how tyranny starts lurking back after a revolution has been won.
Oh yeah.
Cool new shot of Din and Grogu doing recon at what I'm assuming is either the first stop or one of the missions hitting up one of the warlords. That was sweet to see.
All right, so now hang on a second. Wait, you got to step it back for a second there, because Grogu's little spyglass is a different form to the macro binoculars we're seeing in the next shot. I'm wondering whether it's a cross-cut edit between an earlier or different scene compared to later, because here we look like we are spying on something, but then here we look like we are, through macro binoculars, something larger in the middle of a Imperial look down to see what's going on there.
What if that's Zeb? What if this is Zeb's point of view and Zeb's the one?
It could be
with the binoculars.
Could be.
I really hope Zeb isn't a big part of the movie. Like not just a cameo wink, but like he's teaming up with them because someone's vouched for him for Din and Grogu. So I hope that's the case. What else?
I mean, I feel like at the moment, just the way they're playing the trailer, it feels like we're going to go to Delphi at the beginning of the film, and we're going to be sent off on the mission by Delphi, by Sigourney Weaver specifically, and they go on the mission, and now we are in the sewers. And
Zellen's back. This is kind of adorable. Them hanging out with Grogu. I'm assuming doing a side mission from the big stuff. I'm really picking into here. I'm just saying, please,
I wonder how they managed to get the puppeteers into that tight little space to do all the stuff.
And
because
really the way
they have one, and then they had the next. It's like, what are the fricks? And then Grogu is like, man, that must be really, really tough for the puppeteers.
Especially the way I don't know how much the ratio is going to be for this film, but like imagine how much it took it time just to do the setup of like, all right, we're shooting it this way, and not only we're puppeteering Grogu, we have to puppeteer the Anzellans.
Yes, exactly.
We get the Sigourney Weaver, queen of sci-fi, in my opinion. I believe her name is Colonel Ward. I could be wrong. I thought for the longest time it was going to be Colonel Bishop, but I could be wrong.
I missed it.
This dude, this shot and Zeb and other stuff is the reason why I was freaking out, because for those who are who are younglings, to think that one day she would make her way into Star Wars, is almost like a fever dream for any nerd, for any geek of like, holy hell. They got her to be in Star Wars, and she's a rebellion, ex-rebellion. Well, she said she's still a pilot, but she came up in the rebellion. That is just, as my New England friends would say, that's wicked awesome. That's wicked fine. Like, I fucking adore this. How do you feel about it, dude? Like, I still can't believe it. We're watching it right now. They shot it already. This is fucking surreal that she's in it, and she seems enthusiastic about what we've seen of her interviews.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I've read some of the interviews with Jon Favreau, and talking about Sigourney, and her her investment and interest in doing the role, but having no real knowledge of really truly watching a lot of the Star Wars recent stuff. At least I think she's seen some of the earlier films, but she had no real connection with it. So the fact that she was willing to come in and be a part in this, because I don't think she's going to be a big role. I feel like that she will definitely be here at, for setting the mission and maybe a big battle at the end. She might be commanding it or something. I don't know. Again, if there's a battle, I don't know what it's going to be, but she'll be here. I think she'll pop up a couple of times. And hopefully at that point, we'll get to see a brand new lore on this character throughout the course, again, of comic books and novels and everything else. And even see her in the future, see her command something in the next Dave Filoni movie, which comes up in a few years' time. So
exactly. I don't want another scenario with the Defender where she appears in it and then that's it. No more of her character. No. You keep her alive. You don't kill her. And like you said, dude, we talked about it, the whole fan stuff. Like we want to see stuff from Clea and Dell for our Andor talk. Sure. I want to see her interact with Hera. I want to see her interact with Leia, with Mon Mothma. I can't fucking wait. Yeah. I want to see her flying an X-wing at one point in the jumpsuit. Like there's so much potential by just seeing her in this, and it's just like
totally.
There's a story out there brewing about flying and what it means to grow up in the rebellion. I just thought it's like, man, like whoever, maybe it was John's idea, but thankfully they got it to be in the film. And this, folks who don't know, this sequence with Grogu pulling the little coins or the candy from her and her like being like, no, that's mine. That's from the footage. That's from the footage of Star Wars Celebration. And as my memory recalls, most of the stuff that we had seen prior to this moment is all new stuff. This is the most old thing from the Celebration footage, which I just find. And again, look at that costume, dude. Look at that rebellion signal on her, and just I can't wait. I can't wait for cosplayers to cosplay as her character in the movie. Totally. And again, that sound effect of the scraping of the bowl was just great. Okay. This, I hit you up. You hit me up. I was like, am I tripping or not? I double checked. I was like, I zoomed in on it as best as I could. Folks, look at towards the right side of the screen right here, where you can see something being showcased. If you take a closer look at that, we suspect, and there's Arabish written down it, and I think I've confirmed it with other people that we suspect that there's a sign there promoting the how do you say it, Brent? The Halcyon?
Halcyon
cruiser? Which in the meta sense is the Star Wars hotel cruiser that was for a small amount of time opened in Florida, I suspect. But they closed it down because I don't fully know, but my suspicion was that they were charging astronomical amount of money, and it's like nobody's gonna drop $5,000 on a whim to stay in a room of a hotel that's themed Star Wars, I think.
And of course, the Halcyon goes way back because that's where Han and Leia get married on it, and it goes back hundreds of years, I believe, and stuff like that. Actually goes back to the Old Republic, the High Republic, I should say. So it exists around the place. The fact that this one Star Cruiser has survived everything except for the planet Earth, obviously. But here it is. Apparently it's advertising for the cruise of a lifetime or something like that. Apparently, of course, this entire image is a reflection off of the light source, so it's in reverse, so it's a mirror version. So you have to literally flip it and then zoom in at the same time. So it's like quite a bit.
Yeah, and then immediately the next shot is Din in action. With Din hopping on his fence. That is just awesome. That felt like Bryce Dallas Howard's episode from Book of Boba Fett, The Return of Mandalorian. That felt like that butcher, meat sequence where he just goes to town on those folks and whatnot. Real
Let's talk
Easter
about
egg
production.
hours.
There you go. I was going to say, step back a frame or two when you see the wide shot of the room. Let's talk production design just for a second here. So they have continued ever since Palpatine's office in Revenge of the Sith. They've continued with these wide, very wide opening portal type things. We've seen them obviously in Mandalorian season 1 because we saw it in the bar that got shut up at the beginning there. So they're keeping a similar production design within the realm at all, which is really sweet. And just to create those elements of feeling familiar, especially now to Mandalorian. And I think that's a wise choice, not to give us too many crazy new production designs that don't feel like it belongs with the Mandalorian or connects your mental mind to the Mandalorian. So I think that was a wise choice in areas like this, because you see it twice. You see it here, and then the second time when the guy gets thrown across the room and into the other one. So
that's one of the things that, like, how regardless of how I feel as a whole of the Book of Boba Fett. Whenever we were hanging out in Lady Garza Whip's like casino bar, I would just shoot the season here. You don't have to go out. Just shoot around here. There's plenty of story and character and themes and dialogue.
Yeah,
you can throw in, and I have so much respect for production design and set dressers. Where just like I wish I could just be there just to watch, just to record everybody doing their work. I wish I could do that and have that as a job for Star Wars. Which then leads us up to this. Okay.
Yes.
Amanaman, right? Is that how we pronounce the name?
Amanaman.
There you go.
I've always said, as a kid, I've always called him Amanaman. Apparently, it's more of an so it's Amanaman, from what I understand.
There's a
spelled as a man.
Yeah. There's a person on Twitter named But I Am the Shadow who recently was freaking out because of the trailer, and they said, I'm the only one in the world doing an Amanaman cosplay, and it's a photo of them in Japan with the huge ass Amanaman cosplay, which I was just like, this is sweet. Again, folks, if you don't know what this is, that's fine. But if you're a nerd like us and you're like, wait a minute, is that from Jabba's Palace and then the EU rest of stuff, and then again the Clone Wars previs stuff that I'm like, is that a creature that I want? And that is awesome. Awesome, man. I just love it. It feels old and yet new.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I'm a big toy collector of the 12-inch figures, I really want the Scum and Villainy collection from Sideshow to be part of doing Amanaman next in the collection for the Jabba's Palace, because I would get it in a heartbeat. Completely. But I get, just going back to it, we saw this race in a unseen episode of the Clone Wars, and it was just an animatic form. So it's really cool to see that they're a warrior race kind of thing. They're kind of primitive warrior race. So it makes sense that they would be. Well, I kind of know some things I can't say, so I'm not going to say anything about it. But it makes sense that they would be connected to the Scum and Villainy of things.
All right. I'm gonna have to bug you about that later. Harrison James does say the one thing I'll always defend about Book of Boba Fett at the very least is the Tusken lore building. Yes, to reiterate, Harrison, there's a lot of stuff I dig in the Book of Boba Fett. It's just it might have been structure or the way they went about execution stuff that didn't really hit for me. Like, for example, the town that Boba Fett is supposed to be now in charge and wanted to protect. Personally, and again, it has nothing to do with the actors, actresses, background people, none of that stuff. It's just that the amount of time that we spent in that show, I didn't care for the town. It was just a town, the setting that we were at in this story. And there's a difference where there's other
environment of it.
Yes, there's other moments in Star Wars where we spend time in a place and that place means to me, means a lot to me. I'm like, all right, let's defend this place as best as we can. And
Book of Boba Fett, I'll defend in so many areas though. I mean, the stuff with the Tuskens were fantastic. I loved the backstory to the Tusken stuff. Again, we don't want to get into it, but I was just saying that'll be another story conversation for another day for sure. We could definitely catch up on that. Let's stick with this one.
So we see here Din light up the Razor Crest, and
okay,
I think I got lucky with my pausing. Is this an interceptor? Is this an Imperial ship?
Full disclosure, I know some people that know things, and And I asked one of them specifically because I was kind of saying, "Oh, this looks like a TIE interceptor." I can tell you it's not Imperial, and I can tell you it's not Old Republic. And that's all I'll say. You'll have to see it for yourself when the film comes out.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good to know.
But
All right.
I'll tell you one last thing. You do see it, or a rendition of this vehicle in the Clone Wars.
What the fuck? All right, we're talking after. But yeah, this is a cool.
Silence is golden. You'll have to find that out for yourself, guys.
There's a cool flight sequence, which I hope this sequence again. Later on, they tease Forge in IMAX, and we see the aspect ratio change. I hope this sequence is in IMAX. I hope it's blown up. Like, all right, we're flying. Let's go full screen. Which then leads us on to the next sequence, which is Grogu swimming. Which this shot right here, this is from the footage from Celebration. At one point, we see the shot when he jumps in the water and he starts swimming, which feels very Lowen from Cubbish of the kid learning new stuff and whatnot. So I adore this sequence of Grogu on his own swimming and handling his own. I love that.
I am very curious whether or not this is obviously I don't think they're going to put the $2 million puppet into the water and risk breaking everything. I'm wondering. I mean, there's an old school technique where they see a submarine in the water flowing through, and it literally just smoke and haze that is built around with a bit of textures and the affecting the lighting and that sort of stuff. So I'm wondering how much of it is just simply smoke and haze and a few CGI bubbles coming out and maybe some swirls with CGI. But I feel like I don't know. I could be wrong.
That would be
the $2 million puppet into the water. I don't know.
That would be logical, and it's been done before. I think Guillermo del Toro showed us that when he did Shape of Water. It was like, no, she's not underwater. If we just tangle up in strings and we shot it very slowly,
that's it,
and made it look like said person was in water. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go down that route.
It feels like it.
Which then leads us up to this sequence. Look at that.
Zeb Orrelios doing his signature moves that we see him do in the clone in Star Wars Rebels, where they animate him move, and the fact he leaps, he bounces off a wall and swings his I forgot the name of the staff. It's the High Guard staff.
Yes, from Grievous' stuff, the droids. Dude. Even me, look, his face, I can't fully see it, but it looks pretty good rendered in motion when I I love, look at this dude, oh my god.
Yeah, smack, beat down.
Steve Bloom, welcome back.
Yeah. I am very curious because if you look at it, it's stormtroopers, but the architecture is not Imperial. And I'm curious as to where these guys actually are. Because earlier we saw the image of a look like an Imperial base or the exterior of an Imperial
outside of it
layout. So it's weird to have this kind of architecture, which is very Art Nouveau, in the middle of this thing. So, and it also goes back. You think that it was Zeb's viewfinder that he was looking through from the exterior, which makes sense to this moment here, if that is the case. I don't know. I love piecing things together and finding out when it's either right or wrong when we see it.
Yeah.
The bow rifle. Yes, that's the one, Harrison.
So we continue on with a shot of Grogu riding with the Anzellans, which he looks like he has another jacket, dude. He has another jumpsuit jacket, I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah. It looks a little upgraded. He still has that metal emblem chest plate piece too, right? From season 2, I want to say. Yeah. You know what I want to see on this? I want to see a wide shot of the actual vehicle they're actually sitting in, because I want Micro Galaxy Squadron to make us as many ships of this as possible. It looks like a little mini speeder for these guys. Also, is that Navarro that they're on?
I don't know. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised. That's the last time we saw the Anzellans was in Navarro.
Yeah, Navarro. Yeah.
I love it.
It's hard to tell.
This feels very like Dark Crystal. I love that.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
And then from this shot, we go to this. Now, I'm assuming, again, this assumption. I haven't read the script. I wasn't on set. That this is part of one of the missions where Din and Zeb have to team up, and I'm assuming Zeb is the one flying the U-wing, and it's almost like a pickup line. Like, all right, meet me at this spot.
Right.
I'll catch you with the U-wing. That's awesome. U-wings, we've also mostly seen them in Rogue One and in Andor, and a little bit towards the end of Rebels, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. And again, it's a blue blue squadron, a Delphi squadron, I think.
Yeah, I love how the Rebel Alliance logo is on the side of it too. You can just see the clean one. I was going to say, I wonder if this is a pickup from the scene that we see later on, where he blasts his way out of the AT Walker and makes his way towards here for whatever purpose. I don't know. We'll see. That'd be a fun one.
Then cuts to.
But it's always nice to see a.
Go ahead.
Always nice to see a Y. No, I was going to say, always nice to see a U-wing.
Yeah. I love that X-wings are my thing, but I love that there's A-wings, that there's B-wings. I love how Ahsoka brought back the E-wings, which I would just like that. Just such a wicked design, and seeing this now is just adorable to bring up. Same ship as Saul's right-hand man. I thought that's what could have been the blurred ship earlier. Well, two-tube ship. I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting theory. Yeah.
Here we see a crowd shot of people cheering on in the arena sequence where Jabba's son wrecking up, and he's all buffed out and whatnot, which again hasn't. I don't know if it's been officially confirmed, but the big talk is that that's Jeremy Allen White's character who he'll be performing as. Which again, this is right out of the footage from Star Wars Celebration Japan, and we get Din and Grogu looking up on the fight. With the only line in the movie, and we see Grogu eating them space popcorn, which is from
Mantel Mix. Yes, Mantel Mix,
which made its way in the Bad Batch, and I think Tales of the Underworld. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think.
That was also another little cool like Easter egg for anybody who's a Black Sparrow Outpost Galaxy's Edge fan right there.
We have seen Mantel Mix in live action before, though, haven't we? Or was this the first time? I'm just trying to remember. I feel like we saw it at least one other time in live action, and I could be wrong. So you can get it, obviously, at Galaxy's Edge, because they've got it as part of the actual, the purchased food area there.
Yeah, that's what I got when I went. I was like, all right, this is like kettle corn. All right, let's eat it. Yeah, impressive enough. Sick, gotta love it. Yeah, I agree. And then this leads us to the first thing of like, this is the way, and we see two mechs guarding an entrance, and we see the return of the pulse rifle.
Wait, well, let's take it back a step. That symbol that's on there, I believe, is some sort of a hut symbol of some sort. And I'm wondering whether this is either the entrance. I wonder if this is an entrance into the chamber of the arena that we see. Or whether, because we also got Grogu running around in the sewers too. This feels all very similar.
Yeah, this feels very like hut related, and I kept thinking like, what's that symbol of? I gotta go back and look into that symbol, see where it's at. I've never seen these type of designs of droids before.
No,
this
feels the droids are before.
But if you have a look, go ahead, Brent.
Iron Man. The one in the middle there looks like the helmet is very Iron Man from Generation 1 from the first Iron Man film. Like this, but the other one feels
These mechs feel like the mech that fought Bo that had captured Din trying to get his blood out. It feels a little bit like that, but I could be wrong. What are you saying about the one on the right?
The one on the right. If you've seen any of the Star Wars Lego, I know that they created some of. There was one of the episodes of something they did, and you saw similar kind of robots in a junk planet put together, and so there are similar elements there. And I think I'd like to see some of the artwork again from some of the earlier Lucasfilm archives, because I feel like they've taken some of that stuff and reworked some of the original, designs for other robots and stuff like that.
Harrison says, almost giving Haxian brood droids from Jedi Survivor.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, like you were saying, I can only imagine. During the process of writing the script that John and Dave were like, all right, let's go look through the LucasArts and like just see what has not been used yet, and then they lay it out.
We want some big ass 12-foot droids.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. From
they look huge.
a kid's novel or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the pulse rifle. Happy to see it again.
Well, I was going to say, didn't Din lose that in the Razor Crest? Wasn't that destroyed with it? So this is a new one, which makes sense. But the question is, that thing had a disintegration range for a Jawa back in the day. So when he shoots this thing, it just bounces off the metal.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, okay. It means that this robot is really tough, or anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. Which then leads us to the cutback of like, all right, we're back in the arena, but this time with a reptilian creature fighting Din. Dude, I have been like, in a lark on rewatching, I was like, it's one of those Dejarik chess creatures. And then I saw Kyle Katarn's reaction. I saw the people be like, I think I saw Erica Wiley singing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the one that posted. Oh my god, is that design?
Yeah,
is that creature? Oh,
yeah. No, I caught it because I did my reaction. I watched the trailer twice. The first time I'm like, oh, it's a lizard creature, and it wasn't until the second time when I was relooking, I was like, oh wait, it does the move. It does the move. It does the
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just pissing myself laughing. How funny. Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
Yes, and the one in the Jark chess hollow chess piece is called Kahar, but it's a Mantilian Zavrip. Yeah, so that is if that is Kahar, that is we're nerds, but that is so fucking nerdy that I respect the game. I respect the game. They're like, all right, let's just make him an antagonist in the movie during this arena beatdown. And we see Din try to do his best to hold him with this,
All right. So this is where I've got to stop and go, right. At one point, Din is in the audience watching as a spectator. The next, he's in the arena fighting. I'm curious as to what brings him to this arena and why he has to fight a creature. I feel like he's not just going to sit there and go, I'll fight you, or is he? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this is going to play out. Any thoughts?
I'm assuming he wants
nothing. We need more information.
I was like, what could get him to in the fight like that? Because the last thing he wants to do is go head to head with that.
That's my
he
question.
likes doing his jobs just quick and easy. Like oh man. Yeah.
He wouldn't fight this creature, and in an arena, and I'm going to assume it's a gladiatorial style arena is the best way to put it, unless there's a purpose for him to be there. Why is he sitting watching Road to the Hut? Is he just a spectator and that's it? But we also know the Hutts are involved because we've got the twins who are on the poster, we have no sign of the twins yet. Yeah, and we have no sign of the twins in the trailer. So the twins from Book of Boba Fett, of course. There's all these little pieces that are like, we're just missing. They're giving us enough to be interested, but we're just missing the tie pieces that are tying everything together.
Yeah. Harrison says they're bringing up a match between him and Rada, maybe. Like he wants Rada and needs the information, so he's like, all right, enough of this. Yeah, probably.
Sure. That could be a possibility. Yeah.
The next thing afterwards is the him flying out of the AT&T, which again, this is a lot from the footage of Celebration, and I just love seeing them in motion like this. I think it's ridiculous. They're trying to climb past the edge of a mountain, but that is just amazing.
My question is
blown out, and all I'll say is that I hope what they tease us. Go ahead, Brent.
No, I was going to say two things about the AT-AT walkers. One, they're part of the earlier Ralph McQuarrie designs because they got the larger eyepieces on the sides, and they're not placed in the exact same place as a regular snow walker that you see in Empire Strikes Back. So that's one. Two, they're a little wider and much more detailed. The head is definitely a different structure. And three, what are they doing walking along this ledge? Now I want to know what the story is.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're my thoughts.
Oh man. Yeah, I love it. Again, it's ridiculous one of this setting, but just like
yeah.
Which then cues us up to the new logo or new font design.
Yes, yeah. I'm okay with it. It feels very.
Feels
I mean,
very
if it was yellow and orange, Indiana Jones. Yeah, it actually does have that feel of old school. What's it called?
Pulp, swashbuckling.
Yeah, swashbuckling. Yeah, that's the word.
Adventure,
for it. Fantasy adventure, sci-fi adventure. Yeah, exactly.
I expect this type of font on a 70s or 80s book, like fantasy adventure book. I could see that font in Buccaneers Be Wild or something like that. Like I could see that font and style. And there's the new logo or the new font for the logo of the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
And Forge for IMAX, obviously you can see through it that like the ratio does expand. I'm wondering to see how much of the movie is in IMAX. I hope someone asks John before the movie comes out how much it's going to be. Harrison just said
usually
that
they do like 4 scenes or something. But
yeah, mostly like the space battles, something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the arena fight is in IMAX. They shot it that way. That'd be sweet to see it.
Yeah.
And we end the trailer with this type of creature throwing menace to Grogu and the Angelans, and we see him shoot him with the dart, which I think is the dart wristband dart that he was training with in season 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yes, it is too. Oh yes, I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the other one, so good shot, baby.
So apart from the fact that this thing's got one eye, I feel like this is some sort of a mutated womp rat of some sort, because it feels very similar to the womp rat that attacks Peli. It's got the same 2 big buck teeth at least. So I mean, I could be wrong. Or do we think this is just a brand new creature altogether?
Knowing them, if it's not a brand new creature, it's something from like a background design or like an unused design from one of the Ewoks movie, probably. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was from that. Like
now I have to do research in my books.
Yeah. Like this type of trailer, which I think we both have shared something that we dug it. This type of like trailer that like makes us go back to our books and be like, okay, is there anything I that was used that's from a title in Star Wars that's not well known, but they're bringing it to this one. Yeah. Like again, I said the blurgs was the big thing for me. That like I love the blurgs, and it was cool to see them rediscovered through the Ewoks movies that I had always heard the Ewoks movies as a kid,
totally.
But just like
For me as a kid, that was one, and I was only 14 when the first one came out. The fact that we saw a blurg there, I always wanted the toy of that figure. It was just like, and again, years later, we finally get it, in animation again. So it was cool. It was just a cool design. But also, Book of Boba Fett, they one of the sketches of the early scorpion droids. I can't remember what they were called. I forgot there's a name for them specifically, but the big scorpion droid that comes out at the end, which
right
to the town,
before they hit the
because that was based off that was based off of some earlier sketches as well from the prequels, I think. So
yeah. Did you have a favorite moment from the trailer, Brent?
No, I mean, I've seen bits and pieces. I mean, that had leaked online because I haven't seen the stuff from Celebration. So I mean, I haven't seen the stuff that leaked online. No, you know what I mean. But no, I've seen some of those pieces. I was excited to see the just the Amanaman was really cool. It was just a moment for me because I love the design. I just love the design of that creature, and I knew exactly what it was the moment I saw it. Even though I was 6 a.m. and I was trying to spit out words as I was woke up, and I'm like, I had all these things in my head and I couldn't spit out half of the words in my reaction. So because it just wasn't coming to me straight up. But I was like, oh, it's that, and I knew exactly what that was. I just couldn't pronounce half the words. But yeah, I think that was for me the favorite thing. It's like I want to know what that race is doing, in the sewers kind of
in the story,
in the story,
Yeah, to me, it was Queen. It was seeing Sigourney back in the saddle and seeing Zeb in action. Like these were the two things. I'm like, Please, let's make it to May, please. Like I can't imagine. Again, we don't want them to spoil too much, but I can't imagine how much more footage they're gonna be showing. Like just keep us in the dark. Keep us in the dark as best as you can until we get to May. And here's the thing I'll say. I am shocked how much people didn't vibe with the trailer at all. They're like, why is it not pulling me? It doesn't feel like a movie and whatnot. And I know we talked about it briefly before we started. Like, do we live in a time where like, we're spoiled because of how much the quality of TV has risen to near what cinema can do? That now when we see it in the big screen, it's like, it feels like another, like people have been thinking, it feels like another episode of The Mandalorian. I'm like, yeah, the Mandalorian episodes were cinematic, especially stuff like The Marshal or even the Jedi or even the first episode. I feel like it was cinematic as hell.
It's interesting because when you say that, it's like, Mandalorian set off really high ratings and everybody was into it. And I feel like by the time they hit season 3, it became a little washed out and people were losing interest quite quickly. Sad to say, Book of Boba Fett was part of that. And I did ultimately enjoy, Book of Boba Fett. I've enjoyed everything we've seen so far. Even the stuff that people can sit and criticize. I've enjoyed parts of it that, there's always moments in something, whether it's a movie, whether it's a TV show, where either you lose your interest a little bit or you are displaced a little bit. But then there are other parts where it's like, wow, this is cool. And my brain always goes to the cool parts. A lot of people go to the negative parts and they come out of the experience of watching something and go, you know what? I ended off on a bad note. I'm losing interest, and it goes from there. And I feel like from season 3 of Mandalorian, a lot of people a lot of the general public had lost interest. You're always going to have the fans who are either going to highly criticize it or highly love it, that are going to be there, but it's nowhere near the main full population of what it once was. So I think that's a big part of why there's a bit of blowback on this, trailer. The second thing is that I feel that in this day and age, it's people want the whole story in front of you and say, this is what we're going to give you. And there's most of the remarks have been, well, we know nothing about the story. And I'm like, good. You should know nothing about the story going into this movie, because when something surprises you and you enjoy it and you're in a crowd and you experience that moment for the first time, there is something about that. And I feel like in this day and age, younger audiences in particular don't get that concept anymore. It's I need to know everything. I need to know every detail about this. I need to read everything about what this movie is about. I want to understand what all this is about. Sadly, there are times that I get information that I wish I never got, because as I said, I've got friends with feelers that have, who are in the industry, and sometimes they say things and I'm like, I didn't want to know that. I really didn't. But there is this high relevance for people to want to know what they're going into. Show us the whole trailer, and then now we're going to go see the movie knowing everything you know about the movie, and there's nothing there to surprise you, or very little to surprise you in. So when people see this trailer, I feel like that we do get a certain amount of blowback from some of the fan, even the people who are going to sit there and criticize it. I think people want to always put something down and go in with low expectations, hoping that when they get there, that their expectations are changed too. There's so many different things, and there's so many different reasons. I don't think there's any one right answer to that. There definitely is not one answer to that at all. But there has been a bit of blowback in since the trailer dropped this morning from people. I haven't really read too much into people's perspectives. Most of them are just negative. Like, yep, this looks like another Mandalorian TV show. Guess what, guys? It's going to be another Mandalorian TV show. Accept it. Go in accepting that, but enjoy it on the fucking big screen.
Yes.
Just enjoy a Mandalorian on the big screen. Enjoy the epicness of the sound. Enjoy Star Wars in the movie theater once again after 6 years. And just put put everything that frustrates you just into a box for a little while and just go in and try to enjoy something. And if you come out and you don't enjoy it, then you don't enjoy it. then ask yourself, why did you not enjoy it? And be honest. Don't just say it was a piece of shit and walk away and keep going.
Yes.
Hey, it's a piece of shit. That's what you get.
Another one in the list. Yeah.
I want to. If I am going to have problems with something or love something, I am willing to sit down and discuss why in detail
in constructive way,
or what didn't work about it and why I didn't like it because it didn't work. But a lot of people, again, they get to this quick habit of just 2 words. This sucks, and that doesn't answer anything to me about why you think it sucks. I don't have any reason to have any not respect, but just I don't have any reason to connect with you if you're just going to say that. Please tell me why you think it doesn't work in an honest, genuine way. Was it technical? Was it script? Was it? And I can sit there and probably agree with you. I'm still going to sit at the end of the day and go, it's still Star Wars for me, and I still love it all in its overall capacity, because I love the universe that George Lucas went out to set to create in the first place. And if you can tell me some stories that are fun and entertaining, even if they don't always work, I'm going to be in all the way every time.
Yeah, we're 8 months away. And there's plenty of hell, come May, and it's not good. And I have to be like, that's a bummer. I really was really excited for it, and it's not good. Okay, this is not where the franchise ends. It's not. There's already plenty of stuff lined up, and we could, and I've said it that I'm not too crazy about season 3 of Mandalorian. I'm still a fan of these characters in this world and this side of the corner of the galaxy. Like, I would happily go back and visit it and hope that it improves on from that time period. Harrison James here says that I watched the Ewoks movie so much as a kid. Ha ha ha. They brought in the guy in Skeleton Crew too, like the little fairy guy. Yep. I remember hearing about that.
Yes.
He says, I think for casual audiences, they want to know a bit more of the plot from a trailer in today's world. With the cost of movies less, people wanted to risk being disappointed. Yeah, sadly, that's where we're at right now. And there is, unfortunately, a lot of big voices in Star Wars space online that are just negative grifters for the most part, that poison the well, so to speak. Sadly, they're just like, it feels like reading someone's diary and be like, okay, well, besides, I'm not wanting me to hear what would you do differently. Be like, what's something you think could be helped upon? And it's hopefully it's something that's not something you've already said 10 times over for the past decade and a half, I think. And again, here's some love from Harrison saying, Brent preaching the truth. I agree. But yeah, like
that's the way I've always looked at it.
Yeah. I mean, look at this photo. Look at this poster. I mean, look at this.
Look
at this. Like
I want the poster on my wall.
I love it. Exactly. Like, look at this. We're getting X-Wings.
Yes.
We're getting Sigourney Weaver. We got Zeb. We have 2 Hutts. They have to, again, and we live in this age, like they have to go out of the way to F it up. I trust in John and Dave to be like, all right, let me have fun for 2 hours and go for it. See if this stands on its own. And
I'm not expecting a mind-blowing, world-changing movie here. It's not gonna be a world-changing movie. I can straight out tell you that. We are just going on an adventure with Din Djarin, and it's going to be like the early days when it was just the one-off adventure story. That's what I feel like the vibe is going to be on this one. They're obviously not trying to include things. At least we don't think Bo-Katan is in it. We don't think that all these other side stories that they set up in the first 3 seasons is part of it. This is just a adventure with Din Djarin and Grogu. It's literally, the Mandalorian and Grogu. It's like, yep, they're on an adventure. Done.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So 8 more months till this baby comes out. Again, I think we're gonna start wrapping things up and just saying that, like, I dug the trailer, I dug the Easter eggs that we were able to pinpoint out of that. I think people at ILM and Lucasfilm will be like, all right, cool, we got some nerds watching the trailer and they appreciate the detail, the level of detail we went about to showcase this. Please, Brent, any final thoughts on the trailer and any thoughts of this discussion we had thus far?
Nope. I'm just looking forward to not trying to see the next trailer, but I'm at the same time really excited to see the next trailer, which is obviously the storyline trailer. So we'll see. I just hope we don't get like 6 trailers that are all different. And I don't want to know the entire story before I go to the movie. theater.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
My friend, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day off to get about Star Wars. Please plug yourself, tell where people find you, and promote anything you got new coming out.
You can catch me on Age of Grogu, where I do reactions and unboxings. I've got a whole pile of 12-inch figure unboxings I'm about to do from Star Wars Hot Toys and Sideshow stuff, which I've had some cool stuff come in recently. So I've got to edit those together. I haven't had time for that. And then I just did a whole reaction to the Star Wars Rebuilding the Galaxy, the Lego, which I thoroughly enjoy that stuff. It's worth watching. I generally just say go to see it, watch it, just to watch them take the piss out of Star Wars every once in a while, because it's very funny. And of course, Star Wars Vision's coming up. Oh, one of the cool things I was going to say, check this out. I got the Vision's Micro Galaxy Squadron ship, which I'm going to try to do an unboxing to as well. It is so cool. Look at the artwork on this cover. It is so freaking awesome. It's a beautiful. This is the Japanese exclusive one for the celebration. 1 in 3,000. I was able to get my hand on it. So yeah, I can't wait to open that up and have a good look through it. But I wanted to show you the box because it's so cool. But that'll be in there sometime in the future. I'll edit the video and stuff too when I get to that point. Anyway, that's that.
Beautiful. Yeah. Harrison says, much love, guys. Thank you as always. Definitely got me feeling more hyped about it too. I hope so too. And thanks so much for taking the time, Harrison. And again, something as simple as hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this to the rest of the world. Let them know that we are talking, geeking out about Star Wars, and we will be doing that for the future onwards. The packaging is art itself. I agree with that notion. For me, you can just follow me here on my channel by subscribing, liking the video, sharing it across social media and in the internet. We've both done reaction to the trailer. Go check them out. It was early in the morning, but we made it. We got it happen. But yeah, folks, don't be surprised if you see us talking about Star Wars in the future. And as always, may the Force be with you. And this is the way. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, guys.